Hey everyone, I'm Madals, and today it's another Borderlands 3 guide. This time we're looking at Moze the Gunner, although this build it's more like Moze the Demolition Expert because it's all about explosions. It's the build that my lovely wife Katie is going to be starting off with in the game, and it looks a hell of a lot of fun. Torgue weapons, big bangs, and loads of splash damage. Let's dive in. First things first, it is the action skills, and on Moze that means equipping Iron Bear with some weapons. I'm going to go in equipment slot 1, the minigun, which is capable of sustained rapid fire for long periods of time, but it does overheat, which renders it inoperable for a few seconds. And in the second slot, it's going to be the V35 grenade launcher, which is a semi-automatic grenade launcher. It just sounds awesome. Grenades are not affected by Moze's equipped grenade mod though, which is a shame, but would be pretty overpowered if it was. And that starts us off with the action skills. We're going to start off with the Demolition Woman tree because this is all about explosions, and that means putting 3 points into the deadlines. So this means that whenever you fire Iron Bear's weapons, you drain less fuel, and killing an enemy while Iron Bear is active increases fuel. It has diminishing returns though, but basically at 3 points, you're going to have, at minimum, 30% more uptime in Iron Bear, which is important. On the other side, we're going to run Fire in the Scag Den. This means that whenever Moze deals splash damage, she deals bonus incendiary damage. We're going to be dealing a lot of splash damage. Jumping into the second row of Demolition Woman, and this is where things get spicy. We're going to grab 3 points in Means of Destruction. This basically means whenever Moze deals splash damage, there's a chance to add ammo to her currently equipped weapons magazine, and a smaller chance to return a grenade. And yeah, explosions, Torgue weapons, getting more ammo in your magazine is going to be great, but more grenades, even better. We're also going to put 2 points in Torgue cross promotion. So all splash damage dealt by Moze has a chance to double in size. Obviously, if you're using Torgue weapons or grenades, that's going to be great. So let's just grab that up because, yeah, big explosions, always fantastic. Also in this row, we're going to switch our action still. We're going to equip a Vanquisher rocket pod to the second slot of Iron Bear, and this is a rapid fire rocket launcher, and yeah, it's unguided rockets, but we'll be sorting that out a bit later on with some augments. Moving up into row 3, we get our first 1-pointer, Auto Bear for Iron Bear. This means that after you exit Iron Bear, it will remain deployed for a short time, and it will automatically target and attack enemies until its duration ends of Auto Bear, and then it will charge an enemy and self-destruct. Cool, that's going to be fairly big, considering a lot of this is around explosions and using our mech. The other row on this, or the other talent on this row is Pull the Holy Pin. Whenever you throw a grenade, it gives you a chance to get a critical hit with the grenade, and it's, yeah, a greatly increased amount of damage on your grenades. 30% chance with 3 of 3, get those 3 points. In order to get up into the next row, we're going to have to get 1 more point in Torgue cross promotion because bigger explosions more often, better. That opens up the 4th row where we're going to get 3 points and max out Why Can't I Carry All These Grenades? And exactly, why can't you? More grenades, more fun. Get 3 points, you get 3 more grenades, which means more explosions, more critical grenades, and just more fun. On the other side of this row, we're going to get Vampire, which is whenever Moze damages an enemy with a thrown grenade, for every enemy hit, she restores a portion of her health. And that's 8% of missing health with 2 points here, and that's per enemy hit. So with Torgue cross promotion and loads of extra grenades, you've got a good bit of sustain here through explosions, which, yeah, fantastic. Finishing off in Demolition Woman, we're going to grab 1 point in To the Last. And this is a 1-point ability, which means when you're in Fight for Your Life, you can throw a grenade. And if she throws a grenade before gaining second wind, you get a grenade back for free. And yeah, grenades good with this build. They're going to get 4 points in Explosive Punctuation, which is when Moze deals splash damage, her action skill cooldown rate is briefly increased by 20%, so that's fairly substantial, getting Iron Bear up sooner. And splash damage is Torgue weapons, is explosions, is all those kind of good things which we're building this build entirely around. So that looks fun. That opens up the capstone, which is Short Fuse, which is whenever Moze deals gun damage, there is a chance of a secondary explosion centered on the target. And that deals 75% of gun damage, a 20% chance, and is more explosions. Torgue would literally be getting so happy. Now, before we jump into the next tree, we're going to stick 1 additional point into Explosive Punctuation because this action still cooldown is so important to get Iron Bear up more. We're also going to get what is maybe one of my favorite action skill augments in the game, which is the Hammerdown Protocol. And that is basically going to change our rocket pod from, rather than shooting a whole load of kind of unguided, fast-hitting rockets, it's instead going to give us the Vanquisher rocket pod, a single rocket with a nuclear warhead dealing massive radiation damage. So it's only one shot, but it deals 380% damage. It also has radiation, so it's going to weaken everything. Plus, with Torgue cross promotion, there's a 9% chance it will cover double the area. So you might just clear up an entire bandit camp with one mini-nuke. What more could you want? With 21 points remaining, we're going to go up to Bottomless Mags. Here, we're going to stick 5 points into Cloud of Lead. This basically means that occasionally Moze and Iron Bear shots will deal additional incendiary damage and won't consume ammo. This is just going to help us keep shooting for longer. If you are playing in co-op at all, though, just get 4 points in there and put 1 point into Dakka Bear. This puts a mounted turret on the back of Iron Bear, which your buddies can go and jump in, and they can have some of the fun of riding in a giant 15-ton titanium mech. Row 2 of Bottomless Mags gives us a 1-pointer in redistribution, which is after you score a critical hit, you regenerate ammo. 5% of your magazine for a few seconds, being 3. We've also got Smoke the Embers, which increases Moze and Iron Bear's incendiary damage by 30%. Now, remember, we're already going to be doing lots of explosions, lots of fire, and we've also got Fire in the Scag Den, which means that a portion of all of your splash damage deals bonus incendiary damage. So that's just going to amp that up even further. Jumping up into row 3, we're going to get 1 point in Russian defense, which means the Moze can sprint and shoot at the same time. And yeah, that's just going to be useful. It's going to be fun. You can sprint around shooting, throwing grenades, having a party, and getting more explosions in more places. We're also going to stick 4 of 5 points in Scorching RPMs, which basically means that Moze gains increased fire rate and critical hit damage as a flat percentage. That's just going to be nice, and yeah, with Torgue weapons, that crit's going to be very much appreciated. In the next row, I'm going to put just 5 points into the Iron Bank. Now, this increases your magazine size by 35%, which is going to be nice. I'm not going to put a point in Specialist Bear, which is a bit of an odd 1-pointer. Could be quite nice. And essentially that means that equipping 2 of the same weapon on Iron Bear increases the damage they deal by 25%. But because we've got the nuclear warhead over on the rocket pod, we don't really want to be running 2 of those and only having 2 shots in Iron Bear. That leaves us with 1 point and 1 point only, and that's going to go into Some for the Road, which means that when you exit Iron Bear for a few seconds, you get infinite ammo. And that just means that as soon as you exit Iron Bear, anything you've not cleaned up yet, you can just spray them and not have to reload for a while. We've also unlocked an augment slot for the minigun, which is going to give it explosive rounds that deal increased splash damage, but the fire rate is decreased. But this synergizes fantastically with so much of the stuff we've got in Demolition Woman. And that finishes off the build. So that sums up this build. And, well, if you've got a mini-nuclear warhead on your Iron Bear mech, you're going to be having a good time. Grab your Torgue weapons, grab your explosions, throw grenades everywhere, and it just seems like a lot of fun. With a lot of action still cooldown reduction, I think you're going to be seeing your big Iron Bear quite a lot. The gunner seat, if you're playing in co-op, is going to be awesome fun. And yeah, did I mention Torgue weapons and explosions? What more could you want? Of course, let me know in the comments below what you think of this build, if you're going to play it, if you like Moze, just anything really. And of course, if you want more videos from me, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, or check out twitch.tv/Madals, where we'll be playing a lot of Borderlands 3, and also probably joined by my wife as well, because she's super hyped about it too.